I need like 2 more good runs. Is it weird that like the red runs more? Listen, I'm glad. I'm glad. Oh my god, who's pinging me in here? Dude, what? Oliver just pinged me? Have you seen this? This guy played this seed for apparently over 60 hours. 58 hours of runtime. Attempts 2,937? Should we watch this video? We're gonna watch this video. I have enough time, I think. We're gonna watch this video. We're gonna watch this. I'm only hiding it for like my webcam here. That's all. How many piglins?
This is Couriway.
That's me.
Minecraft speedrun.
That's me. That's literally me. Okay, I'm gonna come back now. Hi. I'm gonna come back. Oh my god, wait. Oh, do pred? I thought we did pred. Oh no, well, and we can do pred. It's okay, it's okay. Let me do... I'll go down here. Hi. I'm down here.
And former world record holder who has beaten Minecraft the most times out of anyone ever. He's currently looking to beat the game 100,000 times without resetting a single run. But apart from this, he has a long-running annual tradition of beating the world with the seed of the new year.
Dude, this is so funny. Guys, let's take a guess. Which thumbnail did the best? Which thumbnail worked really well, and what thumbnail did people click on? Let's take a guess here. I wonder what thumbnail was good. No, you bozos, it's the one that's the exact copy of the one from last year.
This year, the seed is...
Because people liked it and clicked on it, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do that same freaking thing again.
2025. This time, I had an idea. As a washed Minecraft speedrunner, if I give myself a small head start, can I get a time that beats Couriway's best time on this new seed? I had this idea on the 10th of May, 2024.
What? Yo! What? Excuse me?
Couriway's best time on this new seed. I had this idea on the 10th of May, 2024.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
But this was going to be extremely close for many reasons. Firstly, Couriway is a full-time streamer with a way more Minecraft experience. Meanwhile, I am in my final year of high school. And secondly, it's been years.
Dude, this guy's a deeper... Dude, I'm 5 years old.
My mechanics are rusty, and I can't trust
that
my game knowledge is up to date. If I miss an important strategy that surfaced while I was hibernating, it could all be over. Just before I get into it, I want...
Wait, what?
If I miss an important strategy that surfaced while I was hibernating, it could all be over. Just before I get into it, I want to clarify that I'm not doing this just to be Curry or to steal a tradition. I did this as both an experiment and...
This is really cool. I fully... Because this guy's gonna say something along the lines of like, I'm not trying to be mean to Curry. Do this! See how far you can push the seeds that I do. I don't have time to do it because I'm doing this stupid challenge for 70 hours a week. Try and beat the set seed as fast as possible. Do some crazy cool stuff.
And a fun personal challenge for myself. And it was a huge challenge. I'm going to release a separate video of all my fails, progressions, and behind the scenes moments, but for now, sit back and enjoy the run. The overworld of the seed is surprisingly hectic, but I'm going to try and explain everything in this run as...
Because the overworld, this is what I was saying when I did the run itself, like when I did this, like the overworld is by far the most intensive part, like by far, because it's so fast that you have to like do everything right.
You can see from the preview that we have an island spawn, and as soon as I begin, I'm sprinting and heading to this specific tree. In third person, I can see that the flowers on my left spawned in as dandelions, which is essential. If they spawn in as poppies, I reset instantly. Only mine one
What? Excuse me?
I pick up an extra dirt block while crafting my log into planks. With my total of 5 blocks, I hop across instantly. Only mine one log though. You can see that the flowers on my left spawned in as dandelions, which is essential. If they spawn in as poppies, I reset instantly. Only mine one log though, and pick up an extra dirt block while crafting my log into planks. With my total of 5 blocks, I hop across some shallow water by hitting 3 quads and a triple block jump, then mining 2 sand in just the right place to loot a buried treasure chest. This gives me 3 gold and 3 TNT, but only 3 iron, which isn't enough for the run. On the way back, I can afford to use 1 TNT to make the parkour back significantly
That's interesting, actually.
Significantly easier, and I'll use another one to blow up some more trees, breaking some leaves slightly.
This is a good TNT spot. I should have done a TNT spot here,
wood.
but I wanted to like double it and then save the TNT for blaze spawner. So I'm curious what he's gonna do for that blaze spawner.
This explosion also gets me most of my blocks for the run, and I need to make sure to pick all of them up, or my nether is going to be a bit more difficult. I've grabbed 3 dandelions, which I can use to craft into suspicious stew later, and craft up an iron pick, gold shovel, boat, and doors. My crafting
Same double crafting table type thing that I do. This is so interesting because like I'm shocked he needs food.
isn't flawless, but it's good enough to get the job done pretty.
It's interesting because like my thought was like I'm just gonna like try and hunger reset if I have to, or just like kill a hoglin. This is really interesting.
Fast. I need to loot a nearby shipwreck for the rest of my iron, so I boat on over, organizing my inventory a bit in the process by swapping around items in my hotbar. In hindsight, I could have crafted an iron axe by now, but the time loss is negligible, as getting my crafting table back is useless since I have the wood to spare. I placed
Interesting he breaks boat. I thought it was faster to not break boat.
a door to breathe and break blocks underwater, and with the surplus of iron from the shipwreck, I can craft my axe and bucket and mine some gravel in the hopes of flint. It takes me a pretty short time, dropping flint on just my 4th gravel. To get into the nether, I dive over to this magma ravine, and I organize my inventory as I get pulled down. At the bottom, I make my portal from the lava underneath the magma. I choose to do a 2x1 portal here because it's faster.
Thank you so much, Blockhead. Of course I remember. Hope you have a nice 2025 goat.
By just a few seconds, but I also choose to do it without offhanding my bucket, because that's how I learned it, and that's what I'm sticking with. I drain the water and collect some lava during the portal animation, entering the nether at 126. Decent.
This is like 10 seconds faster than my enter. I think my fastest was like 133, but his overworld is so much better. Like, I really like the mining the one wood play, but also he's a little bit behind in the sense of like, well, not like behind, but like I'm curious, like he has to high roll more at the blaze spawner.
Base. Anything under 130 is the goal of the overworld, and a few seconds over that is enough to force a reset. The nether spawn is a basalt dome.
So now we're going to, I go a completely other way. Like, I dig through the wall with the gold pick. He makes a gold shovel. This is the big difference.
Fucking gross. This nether terrain looks pretty awful to start off with, and it forces me to staircase up with dirt, but it does improve later on. The first nether travel split ended up being easier than the overworld for me, as any fails on my part were based on bad movement, which is something that gets naturally trained up as you play the seed more. I honestly enjoyed the journey through the nether because there's always something you have to focus on, whether it's boating, placing blocks, organizing items, or collecting food. I end up burning almost all my blocks in order to do movement sets just like this one coming up the hill. Because you're always doing something in the run, playing this seed is never really boring, and this ended up being my favorite seed to run so far. After every session, you improve just a little bit more. You might have seen me organize my dirt to the top middle spot of my inventory, and that allows me to shift click it into my hotbar without
just going to completely different
Here, I'm going to grab some brown mushrooms, my second ingredient for the best food item in the game. Then I'm going to do some movement over this lava. Thankfully, I didn't die here as much as I'd expected.
Dude, this guy's
but I can imagine
nasty.
movement sections like this are pretty tricky for a brand new player. Being a washed Minecraft speedrunner is better than having never been a Minecraft speedrunner at all. This bastion isn't particularly close, so I've got more biomes to run through, including this soul sand valley. I use some spare gravel to hop over the soul sand, which saves some of my dirt for later. Fortunately, I'm able to easily dodge any mobs before I go to climb this cliff. In scaling this cliff, I use my spare door to save even more dirt blocks and run over to this crimson forest. So far, so good. Luckily for me, there's no hoglins or piglins that spawn in my way here. A piglin or two is always manageable, but in comparison, hoglins use legitimate reach hacks, and they force you to deviate a lot more. Moving up this bank and placing some more blocks to sprint through a bit faster, I find some red mushrooms, my last ingredient for suspicious stew. I only grabbed enough of each ingredient to make 3 bowls, which is a worthwhile time save if you can manage your health well enough. Running out of the forest, I see a sword dude to my left, so I initially move away as fast as I can. Then I cycle some new items into my hotbar, overlapping it with sprint jumps to keep myself moving. This patch of fire here works as a pace check, and with an average time of around 307, this run is about 5 seconds ahead of average. Anything at or below 312 is acceptable here, and consistently grinding out these paces is the goal when playing this seed. The Bastion is a bridge bastion, and I've reserved the pressure plate and 1 more TNT to blow up the gold chalice, saving time over having to mine it. While I wait for it to explode, I mine the block furthest from the explosion, which usually gets all 16 gold blocks. This time though, I get an unlucky explosion. At the same time, the TNT blows up some netherrack in the ceiling, which is helpful for some extra blocks. I keep 1 gold block, turn the rest into ingots, craft a helmet so the pigs won't get mad at me, and distract the ones that are with the gold pressure plate. There's a couple more mad pigs than I was expecting, so I throw some extra ingots so they don't mess up my route. On the bright side, there's no hoglin to slow me down on the bridge, so I can jump right into a bastion route called Donkey Kong. This is a somewhat recently developed route, and a strategy that I almost missed on this seed. It attracts piglins from the top and triple rampart, which makes getting trades faster on average, and can save up to 30 seconds. However, it's a bit scary to pull off. I only get hit once when bringing the piglins over, but I make an annoying error here when I throw the gold just outside of the trading hole. This ended up costing me about 10 seconds, and I was not happy about that. In the hole! Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing?
That's a pass.
Oh my god. This is definitely the biggest throw of the run. After that unfortunate time loss, I'm able to bring up 1 more piglin from the bottom, and he's going to go in the hole with the others once I throw some gold in there to attract him, and he goes in the hole to trade with the other piglins. And he jumps in and gets right to trading. Yep, wonderful work there, buddy. Thank you. This is actually a deceivingly challenging split. Since the trades I get are random, it requires a lot of focus. I get gravel quickly, meaning I can elevate.
This guy is really good at explaining stuff. This guy's like really, really good at explaining stuff.
the item trays by 1 block, resulting in a small time save since I need to mine less. I filter the gold ingots to one side and clear out my inventory, chucking out almost half my items. I also get pearls early, meaning I can set up a pearl hang to save a couple of seconds. After that, I can whip out the crafting table and finally start making some suspicious stew. I loot the double chest, which gives me 5 obsidian to go towards my exit portal, which makes not getting enough obsidian from piglet trades very rare. It also gives me some soul speed boots, which are a great guaranteed help for the rest of the run. I'm more concerned of getting my inventory nice and clean instead of constantly monitoring trades, because it's very rare that I'm able to leave that early, but this
I'm really curious how much faster he's going to be than me at this point, because we're getting to that point where like obviously he's going to beat me, I'm assuming. I feel like with my route, if I like really cranked it, I could have probably gotten like a low 9. So I'm curious what his time ends up being.
I think I could have left just a little bit earlier because I checked right as the piglins ran out of gold. Regardless, I'm leaving the Bastion before the 5-minute mark, which is another gold time for this seed. I've got a couple more pearls to throw right after leaving, and I'm making sure to organize my inventory while waiting for my pearls to land, and I'm also making sure that I have at least 3 hearts before landing, or I will instantly die. This is where the suspicious stew becomes extremely helpful for managing my health. I sprint through this crimson forest, clipping on a block in the process, which does annoy me a little bit, and I get to the edge to throw this careful pearl into a soul sand valley. I actually travel right past the coordinates of a second ring stronghold, which tempted me to design a pearl hang route, but the portal needs to be built deep inside the netherrack wall, meaning it wasn't quite viable. Instead, I'm gonna rip through this soul sand valley, avoiding all the skeletons and throwing as many pearls as I can handle before I find myself right at the fortress. This fortress is quite open and has 2 very close spawners, meaning I can run over and trigger spawns from the first one before moving to the next. And I snag on that 1 block. Very nice. I show up at the fortress at a time of 5:40, which is actually a bit slow, but still playable. This part of the run easily introduces the most variance. Getting a fast fortress split not only requires good drop rates, but good spawn sizes too. The first spawner gives me 2 blazes, both of which drop, so a very good start. At the second spawner, I'm greeted by another 3 blazes, and I end up going 4 for 5. I place my crafting table to start crafting beds, but I notice 2 strays on the end of the bridge. If I could leave off these 2 blazes dropping, it would put me on my best pace yet. The first one drops a rod, the second one flies into the air, almost out of reach, and I land the final blow to see that it sadly didn't drop a rod.
Dude,
Turning
this
around,
guy's
I saw
good.
1 more stray blaze on a distant bridge, and decided to prioritize it, picking up my crafting table so I could craft explosives later on. Just before I pearl to this blaze, another blaze appears at the spawner, but once again, it doesn't drop a rod. I could feel the run slipping away. I hung a pearl towards the stronghold and bridged over towards the final blaze. From this point, it was a coin flip whether the run would continue or end up as just another failure to add to the pile of thousands that came before it. I could not believe that it was coming down to this moment. At last, the blaze comes down and drops the final rod, completing my fortress split with 6 rods from 9 blazes. I unhang my pearl and take a deep breath. Looking at the timer, I saw something potential.
It's the video Oliver sent on YouTube, Danny. It's actually insane.
But I could not mess up now. I throw my pearls towards the 3rd ring stronghold, which ends up putting me 1,000 blocks out in the nether. I make sure to overlap organizing my inventory between my pearl throws. 1 massive pearl over the tree lands me in a warped forest, meaning that I get the advancement for visiting every nether biome in the game, which doesn't happen very often in speedrun. I splash some fire resistance for the end fight, then boat down to the portal location, which is right at the bottom of this lava-filled ravine. I place my 10 obsidian, making sure to eat so that I'd have enough health by the time I entered the end. With the pressure building, I make absolutely sure not to misplace any of my obsidian. Scrambling around for my light, I enter the portal animation, saw my inventory just a little more, and apparated straight inside the portal room. I sprint into the center and check my inventory for explosives, when I remember I hadn't crafted them yet. With my hands shaking, I craft my beds as quickly as I can, do some final inventory preparations, and fill in the eyes for the final end fight. The end on this seed has a fairly straightforward 0 cycle, as long as the dragon chooses the diagonal node on the T97 tower. I see it turn in that direction, and I know I've got a good chance to finish the run right here. I pearl up to the tower, landing just a few blocks short from the top. I run to the other side of the tower and start building up with my soul sand. I build my setup and place down my anchors, and I hope that you can enjoy the 0 cycle.
Oh! We said the thing! He said the thing! He said the thing! Dude, good for this guy.
Oh my god.
This guy's goated. I wonder what made him think that like this is the run that he wants to go in.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's really fast. I don't think my route could do this. I do not think my route could do this. His route is significantly better. His mom, let's go. W mom.
Okay. Sorry, Jesus Christ. No, it's a good thing, don't worry.
A W mom subtitles.
What happened? Oh, Susan, sorry. What did I make you?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm doing more.
Is that win or loss?
It's a win! I won! This is cute.
You didn't come in at a great time.
You scared me.
Yeah, I was focusing really So
That's so
unfortunately, I didn't end up getting a sub 8 run, but I did get close, and that's good enough for me. I'm not going to beat myself up about being 8 seconds short. It's still a great run, and I really can't be upset. There's a handful of places where it could have been better, with the two main time losses being the missed gold at the Bastion and the bad blaze rates when I needed them most. With precise mechanics and ridiculously good luck, a sub 730 is definitely possible under non-tool assisted circumstances. There's so many little things about the seed that improve over time, and it was fun getting better and pushing closer and closer to the 8-minute barrier. This project dragged me through learning, grinding, triumph, failure, anger, and devastation. Genuinely the most crushing feeling I've ever felt playing a block game. It's been a crazy experience. I'd beaten my previous time by about 3 seconds, and that was going to have to be enough for me. Why? Because I was out of time. And I know that's rich from a guy who started planning this video back in May, but it somehow managed to creep up on me. It was a busy year, and even after graduating from high school, I feel like the time has gone so fast. I ended up running the seed for a grand total of 58 hours across
That's
64
insane.
recordings, and an attempt count of 2,937. Now, it's finally time for me to let this project go. So, is it gonna be enough to beat Curry? I really don't know, and at the end of the day, I hope there's someone who can get a faster time than me, and really push the seed to its full potential. So good luck to Couriway on running Seed 2025 and on his 100,000 speedrun challenge, is what I would have said if he didn't upload his Seed 2025 video 13 hours ago. Instead, I'd like to say good game, and it's very interesting to see Couriway take an entirely different route on this seed. Go check out his video if you haven't already, it's the first link in the description. And everyone—
That was awesome. That was so good. This was such a well-made video. Dude, I suck at YouTube. You guys are so good at this. This is awesome. This is so awesome. What an amazing video. Your route was super mechanically challenging in the Nether and I would never think of going third ring. This really opened my eyes as to what is possible routing these seeds in the future and is motivating for next year. Congrats on the amazing time. That was awesome. That was so awesome. That was so cool. Yeah, dude, that was so sick. 2937. This is so cool. Sorry if the editing was lazy. This guy like cranked. Hello? This is awesome. This was really cool. Go like this video. Don't just click on it and then like it and then click off because it will tank their retention. Don't tank their retention. Watch it again. It's a great video. It's honestly a phenomenal video. That was really, 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 really cool. Like genuinely really cool. It's always cool like getting to see how like stuff that I do influences other people, and it's like genuinely always baffling. It's always baffling. It's just so crazy. Okay. That was a good mental reset.